right, Chris? It is fight week. How are you feeling right now, just a day before weigh-ins?
Less than a day. We're underneath. But who's counting, right? Nah, I feel really good. My weight is better than it's been since like quarantine 2021. Last year, I think as the season progressed, I let my weight get away from me a little bit because it's a big cut for me, and it's like summer on Long Island. I made it hell for myself at the end there in the playoffs, and I decided like, nah, we're gonna take this very, very seriously. So weight is good, body feels great, and ready to go.
Is this the first time you're going to be going in, like you said, like weight is good, like this new phase that you're doing with weight cutting? Is this your first fight like that?
Not the first time. When I first went to 45, I didn't know if I could make 45, so I was like panicked, really, really overdoing things to try to make sure I got down there. So the first time I made weight in AC in 2021, I was light pretty early, but I think I went a little too far that time. Now I have some experience with it, so this is the best it's been since then, but I think I've improved on that.
Can you talk to me about what you thought when you got the name Bubba Jenkins? I know it's a name you're familiar with. What do you think is this your first fight coming into the season?
To be honest with you, like, I've had everything thrown at me in this league and other leagues. I'm a veteran of the sport, so I'm unfazed by like hearing a name. It's a long season. I think it's a good matchup. So this is a very tough weight class. I would argue that it's probably the deepest weight class in the entire PFL. No knock to the other guys. It's just a very deep weight. So hearing a name that is someone that you've been successful against in the past is it's just a good thing.
He doesn't seem so excited about it. I mean, in some ways, of course, he's excited to fight you again, but he has it seems like a lot of hate towards you personally, talking about he hates your smile, the way you breathe, everything about you. What does that kind of give you an insight into his mindset going into this fight?
Yeah, I live rent-free in that guy's head. He's a broken man. He showed up. He looks a little deranged, honestly, but he's a special individual. Listen, I respect his wrestling accomplishments. I think he's a tough fighter. I think he's an athletic guy. Aside from that, his ego is the size of the room, and he can't deal with losses very well. Nobody likes to lose, but when you're going in fighting to the extent of like, I don't like your haircut, I don't like your smile, I don't like the way you breathe, either you got some demons deep down that you're hiding some things, or you're very, very wound up. So those are good things to hear. Good things to hear from your opponent.
And last question for me, do you feel like he's taking this too personal?
Yeah, listen, I took it really personal with Brendan last year and like his friends and everything like that, and it kind of like ate me up a little bit, where I had some energy that I spent elsewhere. So I know he's gonna like come out strong. How much stronger can you come out than when a flying knee and kick like you did the last time, right? It just at the end of the day, it's another fight. So.
Thank you.
Hey Chris, what was the biggest thing that you took from that Brendan fight?
Jeez. Biggest thing I took from it. I learned that, life's not fair, man. It's just not. Like, I've done everything right. I've busted my ass. I'm a good guy. And then it's like, I get the 1 seed, and then they're like, oh, we're going to fight in New York the week before, but the next week you're going to fight in his backyard, basically, even though he's the 4 seed. You just got to control what you can control. That's it.
Did that annoy you?
Of course it annoyed me. I mean, do you know another sport where the 1 seed goes to the 4 seed's backyard to play the game? No, that's not how it works, right? But when they want it to go a certain way, that's the way it works. So, hey, here we are.
What were the emotions like after that fight, man? There was a lot of build-up, it was hyped, a lot of emotions going into it. It didn't go your way. Just what were your emotions like immediately after that fight, man?
Depression, honestly. I'm pretty honest with you guys. This point in my career, like, I never felt depression like that before. I've been down, yeah, but when you're like, you really can feel the money, when you're the favorite now, you've done all the work, and you know the guy that's on the other side is someone you had beaten already in the final. I mean, dude, I could taste it, you know, and I just got ripped right out of my grasp, and part of it's my own fault, you know, but definitely was depressed for sure.
And finally, I wanted to ask a former opponent of yours, Makhachev, is a champion now, man, and I think people forget you gave him one of the most competitive fights he's had. So I just want to know, like, what do you think of him being a champion and just, I guess, his reign so far?
Yeah, Islam's a great guy, man. We've always had a good relationship since we fought. I gave him hell in that fight. A few different scrambles going the other way, and that's my fight, legitimately. Won the first round, lost the second round, got stuck in a body triangle in the third, but I know that the Russians, the Dagestani guys, and that he respects me for how I get out there and compete, and I respect them as well. And I always knew he'd probably become the champ one day once he developed just a little further, and I'm very happy for him.
Any other interviews? Everybody else set? Do you want
Right here,
to?
yep.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, first question. Since 2018, I believe you've been with the PFL promotion. What about PFL has kept you coming back?
Love the volume of fights. I love that it's a season, the way the sports I grew up watching as a kid have. They have a regular season, a playoff, a championship. I love that. I love the idea of there not being a monopoly in sport. If you watch me on my platforms and stuff, I'm a very free-minded individual, and I believe in things being fair, and I don't like when people get taken advantage of. I think in this sport, unfortunately, a lot of fighters get taken advantage of, don't get their fair share, don't get their fair shake. So I love what the PFL is doing. I love their growth. I love to see their expansion into other countries now, and I'm rooting for them.
So you fought and defeated Bubba Jenkins in August of 21. Was there any difference this time in your approach to the fight than last?
Harder work. I work harder now. The last time I fought Bubba, my coaches will tell you, we were in the airport on the way back, and they were looking at each other, and they're like, was he sparring with you? And then my other coach was like, no. Was he sparring with you? And he's like, no. So the last time I fought him, I didn't even like spar. I was working out, but it's a long season, so I was just kind of like giving my body a break. But this year, since it's right off the jump, we're really getting after it. I had a break. I gave my mind and my body a rest after the fight in London. So we've been tearing ass, man. I'm feeling good.
Last question for me. You being from Long Island, a number of famous people have kind of come from there. Alec Baldwin, comedian Tim Dillon, UFC champion Chris Weidman. Did you grow up with anybody who kind of came out of there and made it besides yourself?
Well, I'm pretty friendly with Weidman. So besides me and Islip, I'm not really sure. There's a few people locally. There's a guy, Christian Harris. He's doing great in CrossFit. He's killing it. He went to the same high school as me. We're about the same age. But yeah, there's a lot of hard workers there. There's a lot of people there. So you have to climb over each other to be able to get ahead. And I think that's what makes a lot of us pretty successful. Thank you.
All right, we all set? All good?
I'm good.
Okay, you just have one other thing, but I can show you where to go.
Okay.